Yeah! Yes! Hello, everyone. Welcome. How you doing? I hope you're all doing well. You fuckers ready for Desert Bus? I'm doing mediocre as per. Actually, I'm not gonna be doing so hot with this one. But, yeah. Happy Fuck It Friday. This is, the day where, we play something random, rare, and ridiculous. Hi, Murray! Welcome. This is Fuck It Friday number 50. This is our 50th Fuck It Friday, so I thought I'd do something a little special. This has been on the FIF list for a long time, but I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it. And I'll explain in a bit. I'm alright, a bit sleepy. Well, you're gonna fall asleep by the end of this then. So, some of you might not know what Desert Bus is. It's known as one of, if not the worst game ever. And it is part of an unreleased minigame collection for the Sega CD called Penn and Teller Smoke and Mirrors. It was canceled before it came out, but people got a hold of the ROMs and everything. And Penn and Teller are magicians. They're like comedy magicians from back in the day. And they made this game, or they were going to, I guess, with a bunch of like joke games in them. I was looking through them because the only one I knew about was Desert Bus. But one of them was called Mofo the Psychic Gorilla. So that's good. We have to play that at another FIF, right? At that name alone, I'm so curious. But back in the day, I guess they're still going, aren't they? Yeah. Sorry. Well, I meant they were probably the peak of their popularity was. I don't think they're as big anymore. I wouldn't know. I don't keep up with Penn and Teller that much. I'm sorry. I do. It seems like something I would enjoy, but I don't know. I feel like the peak of their popularity was probably quite a while ago. But yeah, this is what we got. We got Desert Bus. You might be curious as to what this is. Actually, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, wait. I'm back. Sorry. Okay. So. Alright. Okay. Alright, sorry. I texted my friends I would be doing this. And, I'm not sure what their response was gonna be. Yeah, if you don't know what Desert Bus is, goddamn. As you can't tell from the music, it is the most intense shit. It's the most realistic life simulator. That's what Penn and Teller introduced it as. Game stupefyingly like real life. So I think we're ready for Desert Bus. Okay, I don't know who Jocko is, but we need a. 50 FIFs, yeah. Hey Rose, how's it going? Welcome. Oh wait. Oh, go back. How do I go back? Okay. All right. You guys ready? You guys ready for this shit? I don't know how to start it. I think it needs a minute. Okay, there we go. Oh my god. Alright. Oh, wait. There we go. So what have you guys been up to? To answer your question, I'm doing alright, Rose. So first doing pretty normal, you know. Always thank the bus driver, indeed. Not this time, I guess, because, there's no passengers. You can't just live stream you driving a real bus and pretend it's a game. This is a game. There's a button that I'm holding down, and I'm turning, aka game. We're going to Las Vegas. If that helps you guys. But we're driving from Tucson, Arizona. So it might be a little while. Hey man, how's the missus? The old ball and chain, she's doing good. You know, escaped the dungeon again. Had to put her back in, throwing a fuss. She's like, help, they're looking for me. I'm like, oh honey, that's so you. How about you? How about you? How's the missus? Is she doing all right? Are you guys hyped for Fuck It Friday number 50? Aren't you just so excited? It's pretty cool. Nice day out here today. Look at the blue sky. It is a nice blue sky, isn't it? You're about 20 years late to win the April Fool's prize money. It wasn't money to win. It was a trip. Was it money and a trip? It might have been both. I don't know. The no BGM, no sound is normal. Oh, there's sound. No BGM though. By the way, hi Rad, how you doing? I'm doing mediocre as per usual, but you know, day in the life, bus driver. Would you like me to turn it up a little bit for you guys? Can you guys not hear these intense sound effects? Put something on the radio like smooth jazz. No bus driver, gotta stay professional for the pet. I can't hear. Okay, here. I don't like doing this while I'm driving, but I'll try and turn. No radio? Nuh-uh. No. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. Okay? I'm gonna play this how it was meant to be played. Alright. You guys probably want to know what the deal is with this game by now, huh? Eyes on the road. I am, but you want me to turn the game up so you can hear. So hold on. Are you guys curious what this game is now? Like what the hell this is or supposed to be, or why this is a thing, or you know. Oh, nope. Wrong button. Oh, hold on. Gotta make sure I stay on the road while I'm adjusting these settings. Okay. Actually, maybe a little bit down. Oh, wait. Okay. that better? Can you guys hear it okay? Rad knows. Rad knows what this is. Better, cool. Now you can hear me do this. I can open the doors. Pretty cool, huh? No. There is nothing else I can do. No. There are no other cars on the road. No. There are no bus stops to pick up passengers. This is the game. It's very, very much what they intended. Very much like real life. And, we are driving a bus from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada at about 45 miles an hour max. And I can't go any faster. So you take that trip into account and how fast I'm going. We got an 8-hour trip ahead of us. Almost Heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain. I don't know if that's a reference to something. Oh, there's a rock. Oh, there's another rock. Yo. My goal for this stream is to get a single point. Okay? That way, I can say I got 1 point in Desert Bus. Do you know how you get a point? You get there. You'll get a point when you get there. And if you want more points, you gotta go all the way back. So I'm going to get a goddamn point. We're driving this goddamn bus for 8 hours. And that, my friends, is Desert Bus FIF number 50. Oh, you're saying country roads. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. It's real word time? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Seriously gonna play this game for 8 hours? This is FIF 50. This is a celebration of all the FIFs. You guys always wanted me to do some kind of marathon. This is the epitome of a marathon. Hey, look, 2 rocks. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. There's rocks on both sides. Not a marathon. This is torture. Yeah, probably. But I'm a masochist. You seen the kinds of games I play on FIF? Or actually, just play in general? Did you watch my Lifeline playthrough? I'm a masochist. Double rocks. Yeah, I know. We saw that one bus sign towards the beginning. So I'm wondering if we'll see another bus sign. More rocks, though. The air freshener is going all over the place, though. I don't know what the deal is with that. Just kind of spinning there. In case you're wondering if I... Thank God you started before rush hour, right? Dodged a bullet there. Rush hour in the desert? That's crazy. Trying to get all the figments on Psychonauts 2, so I'll be here for a while. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. Some of the figments are, like, really hard to see. Although in Psychonauts 2, they're easier to see than in Psychonauts 1, so... There's that. In case you're wondering why I don't just, like, hold the accelerator... the bus slightly lists to the right. See, I'm not touching anything. So, you have to keep tapping left to stay on the road. Yeah, they thought of that. They knew. They knew people could just hold the button down, so they wanted to make sure you're driving the bus for 8 hours. Now you might ask, why don't I just drive off into the desert? Well, if I drive into the sand, the bus gets stuck. And when the bus gets stuck, I have to wait for a tow truck. And the tow truck has to tow me back to the start in real time. So if I drive for 6 hours and get stuck in the sand, I gotta wait 6 hours for the tow truck to drag me back. No, there is no pause button. If I want to take a break, I'm gonna have to stop the bus. Know about this game. Fucking angry video games. Oh my god, what a shit show. See, the fascinating thing about this game, right? Like, pee in your pants, pee in your pants. No, I looked it up beforehand because I knew there was no pause button, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to use the bathroom in the middle of this at some point, right? But I looked it up. I'm like, do you get like towed, or do you get penalized if you just stop the bus? Like, you don't get stuck in the sand, you just stop the bus. And some guy was like, no, I stopped the bus for like 30 minutes and I was fine. So if I need a break, I'll just stop the bus. Real bus driver would pee in a bottle, just saying. You know? It's a good point. I don't have any bottles though. Well, I have some bottles of water. Maybe if I finish one of those, I'll just pee in that. But like, what if it's too much? What if I need another bottle? Pee in a bottle, live in an immersion of being a bus driver who can't take bathroom. Pee in your Pepsi can. Actually, I don't have Pepsi today. But I do have a giant coffee from a frozen coffee that's almost gone from Dunkin' Donuts. So I got my caffeine fix. The forbidden yellow Pepsi. Just my chair. Okay. The door's open, right? So long as you can multitask. All that does is play a sound effect. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything. I can't even use the windshield wipers. But I mean, you can see how close we are from the mile counter in the bottom middle. See it's rolling. I think so. Or is it rolling down? Actually, I can't tell. Well, the little time thingy said 7:30, right? So I assume we'll get there around 3. Well, more closer to 4, I guess. There'd be different weather later on, like rain, right? Oh, you silly, naive fool. You think it's anything beyond this? You think there's more to this? No. You're looking at it, dude. This is it. This is what the next 8 hours are gonna be. Although I don't understand why we're running on empty. Because we're not. I'm gonna get that point, dude. I know I'm going to regret it. In fact, probably in about 2 or 3 hours at least, I'm going to start regretting this. But I want you guys to promise me something. If you're still here, by the time that I'm like, dude, I don't know, I want to give up. I want you to relentlessly spam me with, like, messages saying, don't give up, or don't be a pussy, or just, or, you know, all of that. Say, I'll unsubscribe, I'll unfollow. I don't want to give up. Even if I want to give up, I don't want to give up.
Never give up. Trust your instincts.
Thank you, Murray. I fucking will, don't worry. Honestly, all of you guys will probably be asleep by the time I finish this. I'll probably have a whole new heap of, maybe not a heap, but a whole new set of chatters by then. Man, I hope I don't get raided. That'd be very disappointing for all the people raiding, or all the people. Yeah, all the people. If I wake up tomorrow and you don't make it to basic, then I'm stealing Swiffer. Okay, I will stay up high on tea just to be with. Thanks, Rad. You're a true friend, a true bro. You know, I will say, I already have an advantage to everyone else playing this game, because I have people to talk to. I have you guys. And, you know, normally someone would be sitting here just looking at the empty seats in the rearview mirror. You know. If you get ready, you should try to sell them the game. Don't say it's stupid. Act like this is super fun and normal game. I can try. I can try. I'm definitely good at being facetious. So, yeah. I can drive on the other side of the road. There we go. I'm sure this is normal for some of you who live in other countries. There we go. I'm a rebel. You just gotta play the no wait guys, we're almost there card. Oh, I totally should, huh? This is indeed the original truck simulator. Well, it's a bus, so I guess it's the original bus simulator, right? Guys, I lied to you. Las Vegas isn't really that far. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's about 4 minutes from here to Las Vegas, so. We'll get there when we get there, Rad. Calm down. You all paid your ticket, alright? You're all on the bus, so you better be willing to go the distance. At least it smells nice in here, thanks to my air freshener. You want McDonald's? Well, you know what? The next rest stop isn't for another 200 miles. That's what Penn told me before. Yeah, you actually get a... I'm sorry I didn't show it, but there's actually a little hyper-compressed, because this was Sega CD, so a hyper-compressed video of Penn and Teller explaining their brilliant idea for this game. He's like, you might not want to drink anything. The rest stop isn't for another 200 miles. I'm hungry. Can we stop at the next... Sure, we can stop at the next stop. When we get there. It's the High School Musical karaoke bus tour, right? No. No, I'm sorry. Mostly because, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get a cease and desist by Disney, by one of the most evil corporations on the planet. All I smell is stinky hacker. Ha 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 ha. Good one. Not really. That was a bad one. Still. I just texted my friends before I started this. I told them what I'd be doing. And, all I saw was one of my friends just in the group chat just put, fuck yeah.
Brother, this guy stinks.
Thank you. Hey, guys, actually, you know what, guys? This is gonna be the best stream for you guys to farm channel points. Because I'm gonna be going for so long, you can just leave this on in the background. My friends are indeed awesome. They're the kind of friends that they were like the only friends I had from middle through high school. So it's literally most of my friends IRL. Yeah, you're gonna be rich. You're gonna have all the points you could ever want to call me stinky, or tell me how delicious your milk is, or how many nuts we got going on. You guys, when do you think we'll hit the next bus stop sign? That's the most exciting part. Because we saw one towards the beginning, like, right when I started. I don't know if we'll see another one. But, you know, we'll see. I thought that mile counter in the middle was going down, but it's actually going up. So, I guess that's not an indication for how far out we are. Honestly, after a few hours, I'm probably going to get to the point where I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to lose my voice. So, yeah. This is now a just chatting stream. I don't know what you guys want me to say, though. Oh, you want to hear some good news? So, some pretty good things happened to me today. And I came into some funds, which was a nice surprise. I didn't like win the lottery or anything. Do you think I'd be playing Desert Bus right now if I won the lottery? No, I'd be like, stream is canceled. I gotta go get a happy ending at the nearest spa. Okay. But, and mostly I'm using it for personal expenses. But I did set some aside. And I got Sonic Racing. Do you guys want me to play that on stream? You can play it on stream. Can you lend me a tenner? No. No, I can't. Sorry. Let's play it together. Do you think I should go in, like, just start playing online? Or, like, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I had, like, Sonic Origins planned for tomorrow, but I don't know. That's kind of up in the air. I kind of just threw it on there. I do. True. I'd be here playing Desert Bus. But hi, Dex. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. But yes, that's probably the last new game I'll get for a long time. So I figured it was worth it. I was really looking forward to it ever since people started hyping it up, and I'm glad I got around to getting it. The only other new game I'm getting is because it was a gift. I'm going when Pokemon Legends ZA comes out. I'll be playing that. I won't be getting it until like the 20th. I think it said it'll be delivered, but someone bought it on my throne, and that someone was Rose. So you guys thank Rose that I'll be playing Legends ZA when it comes out. So that'll be exciting. So thank you, Rose. And what else? You guys, do you see the, you guys excited for all that Minecraft going into Sonic Racing? You guys seen the Minecraft Sonic? Is that out yet? It looked like it came out, like, the other day. Like, because I got the trailer for it. Minecraft. Oh, yeah, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, like, announced a bunch of crossovers. And one of them was that you can play as... It was a... Oh, they're out now. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a paid DLC season pass where they have a bunch of crossover characters. and they have free update characters who are like the Sega characters, so that's why I like Joker from Persona 5 and Ichiban from Like a Dragon and stuff. Um, like, so they're gonna come in free updates in the future, but they also have a ton of crossovers they announced. So Minecraft was the first one, so you can play as Steve, Alex, and a creeper, and also like ride a minecart. And it looks like there's a Minecraft track, but like looks like a huge track because there's like the freaking different biomes in the end and everything, and it looks really fun. But yeah, what's the other crossovers they announced? SpongeBob and Patrick are coming, and probably Bikini Bottom track, right? Yeah, and then they announced. I think they also announced. They didn't share what characters or anything, but they announced they would also be doing a crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then also something Avatar related. Avatar is in the Nickelodeon show, not as in the James Cameron movie. So I think Mega Man, that was the other one. Mega Man and Proto Man are gonna be in it too. That's what it was. I was typing which Avatar, the Nickelodeon. Apparently, there's another show or something. Like not like, because I know there's the Legend of Korra, which I never watched any of the Avatar stuff, but no, like another show called Avatar something or something. I don't know. But Pac-Man. Pac-Man's also coming with the ghosts, right? I think Pac-Man also with the ghosts is coming. Yeah, they're doing so many crazy crossovers, and there's like freaking 10 more characters that they have yet to introduce. I think they showed it off. But it seems like there's a lot more Sega characters coming, which makes sense. You got the DLC just a bit. No, I got the season pass and everything. But like I think they they kind of leaked like through background images and stuff. Through like trailers and Twitter posts and stuff. They leaked that like Ai from Monkey Ball and Knights from Knights is gonna be in it. I mean, we already have Hatsune Miku too, so there's that. I guess that's technically a crossover. But people are theorizing that the comic characters, the IDW comic characters, might be coming because someone saw a color scheme that you could get for one of the vehicles, and it pretty much one-to-one looks like the color scheme of one of the IDW characters. So that would be really fucking cool. I'm wondering, I doubt it, but I'm wondering if they'll do the rival interactions for any of the DLC characters. Obviously, for characters like Steve and Alex, like, they don't speak. So, so I don't expect them to say anything, but it would be cool. I highly doubt they're gonna do it, but I think it would be cool. Like, I mean, like Joker has a voice, you know? He doesn't obviously say that much in the games, but I mean, his English voice actor was voicing him in the anime, so like he clearly can voice the character as the character, you know? And I'm pretty sure Ichiban also has an English voice actor. So that would be neat. Sonic comic character, yeah. No, it's confirmed the DLC character would be unvoiced, even Werehog. Okay, yeah. I remember the Werehog. And then they have skins that are some of the Sonic Prime characters, the Netflix show, which is a decent show that I've talked about a couple times. But it's decent. It's not bad. It's nothing fantastic. But it's entertaining. But those are just character skins. But even though they're character skins, they have like different animations for certain things. They aren't voiced, unfortunately, but still, yeah. I'm mainly hoping, we get some Sonic comic characters, even if they're unvoiced. Just to have them in the games would be nice, because they confirm, not only have they confirmed it's canon, but they have that one line people keep talking about in Sonic Frontiers where Sonic straight up like refers to Tangle by name. Like, what does he say? He's like, "Oh, I bet Tangle would love to jump around these ruins." And everyone was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Like, you just straight up mentioned the like the comic characters are canon, but it proves that they'd be willing to bring them over to the games. So Tangle, Whisper, everyone wants Surge, which is understandable. Also Kit. No one talks about poor Kit. Poor fucking Kit was like, if you don't know, Surge is like a antagonist kind of thing, kind of like a what's the word for it? I don't want to spoil anything, but she's like a tragic character, like a tragic antagonist. She was created to like, well, not created, but she basically was intended to be like a rival to Sonic. And the villain who kind of hired her, kind of, I'll use that term for now, wanted one to rival Tails as well, so he created a little fennec fox. His name was Kit Tsunami because he controls water, but he goes by Kit, and he's like very timid and shy. But like, him and Surge are like really close friends and partners. And everyone talks about Surge. No one talks about poor Kit. Kit might even be more tragic. He's a poor little guy. Anyway, I was thinking Little Cockery and Terry the Pigeon. They're already in, actually. I was doing a game with Rose the other day. You know, the like, oh, my mom guesses Sonic characters thing? I was curious if Rose knew certain Sonic characters, so she just gave them random names. It was really funny. I do wish IDW characters would be involved in the game. Who's Sir? Fox? Yes, a Fennec Fox. He's blue. He's basically a blue version of Tails. But he has a pack, like a water pack that has water in it, and he can control water. And that's how he like gets around and stuff. Surge is Surge the Tenric. It's a popular Sonic thing to introduce a character that's an animal no one's ever fucking heard of, like Knuckles the Echidna. Like I don't think anyone knew what an Echidna was before Knuckles came out. But Surge is a Tenric. It's a type of is it a rodent? Might be a rodent. I don't remember. But Surge is, I don't want to give anything away. If you can't tell by the name, she has electrical powers. So she basically is a bad guy, and teams up with the other bad guys occasionally, or mostly just likes to go it alone with Kit. Kit's like the only person she probably trusts, but she's like very crass and outspoken and rude and like violent. So basically like very opposite to Kit, but they're like a solid team, you know. Like I think their first encounter with Metal Sonic once the first time they encountered him, like he put up a fight, but they fucked his shit up, dude. It was pretty awesome. But like they can destroy shit. Uh and it's pretty cool. So I like Surge and Kit. And then there's Tangle and Whisper. Tangle's a lemur. She's like an adventurous type. Like she idolizes Sonic because, she loves going on adventures and she loves all the cool shit, like cool powers and stuff. She's like really naive. Um and her like thing is that she has a tail that's really long and like stretches. It's like freaking Mr. Fantastic stretchy tail. So and she uses it in like all sorts of ways. She can use it as like to slingshot people. She's done that. Tie people up. Um, I like it when she uses it as a fist. She could just curl the end of the tail like a fist and just punch the shit out of everyone. It's pretty cool. She's definitely very likable. And then there's also Whisper the Wolf, which is like became her best friend. Um, I think it's actually a pretty famous ship between Tangle and Whisper. I don't know. I mean, it's probably just because the fact that they're best friends. Like, and so obviously people are gonna be like, "Oh man, they belong together." But Whisper is actually quite the opposite to Tangle as well. She's a sniper. You know the little Wispin weapons they used in Sonic Forces? She has one of those. It's like a sniper rifle. Um, but it has a couple different functions. But she mainly uses it as a sniper rifle. And she's very quiet. She doesn't really like to, be around a ton of people. She prefers to be by herself a lot of the time. And she also has a tragic backstory. Um, because she was part of a platoon. And one of the members of the platoon betrayed everyone else. And the rest of them all died except for her. So she got a tragic. I guess that is a bit of a spoiler, but like she kind of just that's kind of just her backstory. It's not like a secret or anything. Not the angst, yeah. Yeah. And like that's another thing is that like the person who did it, the traitor, is still out there. He's still alive. So that's like a thing for her is that she also wants to take him out. She wants revenge. She does want revenge. And I mean, I won't spoil the kinds of things that happen, but yeah, she wants revenge, and it's tricky because the person that betrayed them is a guy. His name is Mimic. He's Mimic the Octopus, and he's called that because he can shapeshift into anyone, literally anyone. So you don't even know if it's him or not whenever you see someone. So he is an octopus, yeah. Pretty cool, right? I could actually that could be the rest of this freaking bus ride with me just talking about the Sonic IDW comics because they're so good. I gotta catch up on them because I think I'm an issue or two behind. The last time I read them, and apparently they finally put Sage in there, so they finally are making the story post Sonic Frontiers, and also apparently they're going to be doing a one-off Sonic Racing Crossworlds thing because that's canon. So I want to see that issue too. You're saying he could act as an imposter among us? Indeed. Indeed, he could. Yeah. There's also a lot of like other side characters in the IDW comics that they're all so good. There are I think the only characters that I'm not a big fan of are there's two skunks. One's tiny a tiny guy who likes to like squirt skunk smell, and then one's the big doofus kind of guy, and they're called Rough and Tumble. Um, and they someone said someone said this, and it's a good comparison. They're like it's like a slightly lamer Team Rocket in the Sonic world. And that's pretty much exactly what they are. They're not as entertaining as Team Rocket. They're just kind of there, but they actually can be pretty strong. But mostly they're just like, the Team Rocket. So there's those. Um, there's other minor characters. There's Lanolin the sheep. I really like her. Um, she was really neat because like she just started as like a background character, like in like one of the first few issues. Um, the IDW comics take place like right after the end of Sonic Forces. Um, so literally right after it ends. Um, and so like Eggman's robots are like aimless because Eggman's not around. So they're just attacking indiscriminately. So that Sonic is just kind of going around and saving towns and stuff. And so in one of the towns, like this random sheep girl comes up to Sonic and is like, "No, Sonic, help! They're attacking from like the west or something." And like throughout the comics, she's like in the background. She's like helping there's a thing formed they call the Restoration. It's like an organization dedicated to restoring the world because in Sonic Forces, Eggman conquered the world, so they kind of need something to help get everything back together. But whenever you see like Restoration HQ and stuff, she's like in the background doing things, and then by the time she becomes important, she's basically like a kind of like a captain or a commander and or stuff. It's pretty cool. If I remember right, there are also some comics that's set during Unleashed. Anything set before Forces is just gonna be the Archie comics. IDW is the only stuff that's canon. Because the Archie comics are their own thing. Those are the ones with like any of like the Mobius related things, like Sally Acorn and all that. That's all in the Archie comics. But IDW is canon, so it's only stuff that is canon to the games. Yeah, so they don't really talk about too much stuff from the past. Archie is not canon, yes. Yeah. So the Sonic comics that were like from the beginning of Sonic, like back in the 90s, all the way up to I don't remember when IDW started. I want to say like 2018 or something. Any of those like hundreds of comics, those are not canon. They never have been canon. So it's not anything new. But IDW, they have stated, is canon. So like in the Archie comics, there's all sorts of characters. There's the Mobians from the old Sonic cartoon. There's all different kinds of different like kingdoms. Like I'm pretty sure Knuckles has a girlfriend and everything in the Archie comics. But none of that is actually canon. It's just exclusively IDW stuff. And I'm trying to think of other. Oh my god, a huge character in the IDW comics that does Bean show up? Okay, so actually that's a good. Oh, add in about a minute. That's a good question because the Sonic the Sonic team has stated they want to keep the classic world of Sonic and the current world like two separate kind of continuities, kind of. So like classic Sonic are like, stuff like Sonic Superstars where they're all in their classic designs. It's like set, in the past where the old Sonic games are set, kind of like that. But in that continuity, Fang's gang actually does exist, and they did make some IDW comics of the classic Sonic where, yes, Bean does indeed show up. But in the main canon, in the modern main canon, he is not there. So I'm sorry. But he is there in the other ones, because Fang's gang is him, Bean, and Bark. And they did a whole thing. Bean the goat. Yes, Bean is definitely your favorite, I know. But yeah. The character I was going to mention. There's a character named Belle. Belle the Tinkerer. She is a wooden puppet. She has tinkering skills. And she's really shy, and she also has there's a lot of tragic backstories going on in in the comics, and they actually work pretty well. But yeah, remember the comic where Cream forced Shadow to wear a dress because he didn't want her to cry? I don't remember that. That probably was not IDW. Yeah. But yeah, there's Belle. She is... What's interesting about her, right, is because, it's not IDW. Yeah, I figured. So Sage is the AI created by Eggman, but he treats her like a daughter, right? And pretty much everyone treats, oh yeah, ad jail. You know what, I'll wait till the ad's over to keep talking about this, because I could talk about these comics, like, forever, because I'm enjoying them so much. And it's honestly taking my attention off of driving this bus. So, yeah. Yeah, I like it. But until the ads are over, I guess just say, is this a self-made comic? Rad, I know you're a big fan of Cream and Shadow, and more specifically, their interactions. Which, I mean, yeah, they're not very... I don't think it actually happens all that much in Sonic in general. The most we've seen Shadow and Cream interact are in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Because if you don't know, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds has, like, all of the main Sonic characters you could think of in it. Even some of the ones that were, like, part of, like, spin-offs. Like, they have the Babylon Rogues. They have 2 members of the Deadly Six, which, I'm not really a big fan of the Deadly Six, but they did choose the 2 members I'm okay with of the Deadly Six. So there's that, and like even Sage is in it. Oh, you're back. Okay, cool. All right. I was talking about Belle. Yeah. So Eggman, and literally everyone, I guess, treats Sage as Eggman's daughter, because it's the AI he made. And even he's embraced it. Which is pretty... It's cute. But, like, Belle was also technically created by Eggman. Kind of. So, technically... And she refers to Eggman as kind of her father. So, it's kind of like a daughter... The wooden daughter he never wanted. And so she's kind of upset about that. She's not really super happy about that. Oh, it was a fan work? Yeah, pretty much anything where, like, these weird character interactions that would never happen is probably fan related. But that's why Sonic Racing Crossworlds is so cool, which this was another point I was getting to and then got off on a tangent. Because it has all these characters, they also put in like a rival interaction for every character. Actually, they have 2 per character combination. So every character interacts with each other, even ones you would like never think would like who the fuck would wonder what Storm the Albatross would say to fucking Charmy the Bee? Like 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 whoever thought those two would interact, right? Like there's no other freaking dimension where they would, but yeah. It's cool. It's really cool. I hate Charmy too. He's on the... I have to make a Sonic character tier list. I could do that now. I wouldn't really be able to like write it down or... But Charmy would definitely be in the F tier. I hate Charmy. Okay. I do find it funny how like he's kind of part of the Chaotix detective agency, but basically he's just their kid that they have to watch, because Vector always is like saying how he has to babysit him and stuff. There's even a part in the IDW comics where Vector and Espio are going somewhere and they have to leave Charmy with someone. In fact, Vector has a car very similar to the ones in Crossworlds, that he drives the group around in, and Charmy has a fucking little booster seat in the back. So he literally, I mean, he is like the youngest character among all the Sonic characters, right? It's either him or Cream are like, they're really young. My favorite line was when Sage asked Shadow if he still considers himself part of the Robotnik family. He responds, he let that name long ago and suggests her to do the same. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I actually did watch all of the rival interactions because I was curious. It was like a movie, dude. I was curious what everyone would say to each other. But I do like that. Some of the interactions are great. Some of them are kind of lackluster, but a lot of them are pretty great. I like the little... Yeah, it's longer. Yeah, all the interactions back to back is longer than the cutscenes in Sonic Forces. Yeah. It's pretty funny. But it's great. I'm so glad they gave the voice actors so many chances to... Not only do they have rival interactions, they have interactions on the track too. So it's like if they hit each other with items and shit. So it's like there's so much in it. And it gives the characters, you know, so much more character. I am so happy that like with some of the voice actor choices, like I couldn't believe they got the original Wave the Swallow voice actor, like Kate Higgins, who back in like the original Sonic Riders was both Wave and Tails at the time. But Tails has been Colleen O'Shaughnessy for years now. But they still got Kate Higgins back to do Wave the Swallow. So she sounds like she's always sounded. And thank God they got that other voice for Jet the Hawk, because my God, listen, say what you want about your opinion on Jason Griffith when he was Sonic back in the day, because he was also Shadow back in the day at the same time. But then they also made him Jet the Hawk, and his Jet the Hawk voice is so fucking annoying and like high-pitched. Oh God, it's so terrible. But apparently in Sonic Free Riders, which was the the Riders game nobody played because it was for the Kinect, that was after Jason Griffith stopped voicing Sonic. It was when Roger took over. So I guess they also needed to get a new voice for Jet. And it sounds so much better. I mean, it's still got like the cockiness in it, but like that's supposed to be there because that's Jet's character. But they got that guy who did his voice in Free Riders to do the same one for Racing Crossworlds. Thank God, because he's so much better. They got a lot of the Vector sounds a lot better now. I think. I think the voice actor, because Vector has had like two different voice actors. The original I thought was pretty good, but then the second one got like kind of, I don't know, nasally, and it kind of sounded weird. But now that he's talking a bit more, it's easier to get used to it, and I'm liking Vector's character too. It's really showing, and it's nice. Of course, you got like Matt Mercer, SBO, and Bryce Papenbrook as Silver, which I like. I think he's a good Silver, and I'm glad that Silver is finally getting some dialogue and screen time that makes him out to be an actual like fun character, fun quirky guy who always just wants to do right. Which is how he works best, in my opinion. The new Silver. Yeah, let's not get into the fact that you guys hate me for hating on the old Silver. Jet does appear in the comics. They all do. Yeah, they all appear in the comics. Every character that's in Racing Crossworlds has appeared in the IDW comics. In fact, it apparently Sage now, because the comics are finally picking up after Frontiers. I'm pretty sure I said that, but I don't remember. Also, turns out the comic does explain why the fuck he's in Forces. Okay, well, that's kind of complicated. Hold on, I gotta hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate. I had to take my hand off the accelerator. So, there we go. Alright. They don't really. Okay, they don't. So if you don't know, Silver the Hedgehog is from the future, right? He originally appeared in Sonic 06. In Sonic 06, basically, the timeline in Sonic 06 was the world was going to end, and Silver came from the future post-apocalypse, and eventually got the opportunity to go back in time and stop the apocalypse from happening. That's like his story in Sonic 06. But at the very end of Sonic 06, they reset the timeline. So the events of 06 never happened. But Silver is still in the continuity, so people are like, well, why is Silver around if the timeline never happened, right? Apparently, they don't really fully explain it, but it's kind of implied that he still is from the future. He comes back to the present once in a while when he notices something wrong in the future. So he's kind of like outside of the timeline, right? Because every time he fixes something and goes back to the future and everything's fine, well, what if something happens again that's wrong, then he goes back to the present. So that's why he keeps sticking around, is because either he's trying to fix something or he wants to see if he really did fix something. Like in the and the funny thing is, in Sonic 06, Blaze was also from the future with Silver. Like, they were friends. But that was retconned because Blaze isn't from that. Blaze is from another dimension because that's how she was introduced in Sonic Rush. So that is her canon. It's not the 06 canon. It's the Sonic Rush canon where she's from another dimension. However, her and Silver interact a lot still. And they're like very close friends. Sonic even said that they were cute together. the ultimate ship. Sonic ships them. Well, okay, he justified after he said that. He's like, oh, I meant as friends. But, so how's Blaze still alive in Rush? Because from a different dimension. Well, okay, because everything in 06 is, like, kind of retconned. Like, the timeline is erased, and also a lot of shit was retconned, basically. So just forget about Blaze in Sonic 06. Pretend she wasn't there, even though she, like, picked up the fucking slack that Silver wouldn't do. She even sacrificed herself at the end of 06. But still. No, it's like, it's mainly... she's from another dimension. Like a parallel one. She's a princess of a kingdom from a parallel dimension. That's her thing. So... But I guess Silver is from an alternate timeline. So, or not an alternate timeline, but he's from the future. So I guess they have that in common. They're from, like, different places than the main world. But, yeah. Silver is basically Trunks. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z, but everyone says that. In fact, I think even in the... Actually, no, even in the development pages for Sonic 06, and they said they were making notes about Silver, I'm pretty sure one of the guys straight up wrote in there, basically Trunks from Dragon Ball. So I guess, yeah, Silver is that. But he's also kind of, like, lighthearted and goofy. Unintentionally goofy. You know, but he's such, like, a goody two-shoes boy. You know, he's always trying to do the right thing and he's nice to everyone that's a good guy. Things like that. You know, because in 06, he was basically just, you know, was one of the, like, 5 people in that game that wanted to kill Sonic. But, yeah. I mean... He was the one who saved, well, okay, it wasn't just him. It was a lot of going on, but the Metal Virus saga, that everyone talks about the Metal Virus saga because it was really good. It was one of the story arcs in the IDW comics was called the Metal Virus saga. It was the second story arc. And essentially Eggman creates a virus that turns people into brain dead robots. So it's essentially it's called the Metal Virus, and it's basically the zombie apocalypse but with Sonic, and it's really dark and it's really good. Because there's some serious shit that happens during that. Sonic is actually infected the whole time of the saga, but they found out that for some reason, I forget what it was, but for some reason, if he runs, it subdues it for a little bit. So occasionally he has to go around and run really fast for a while in order to make it recede a little bit, and also he can't touch anybody. So yeah. So it's pretty crazy. He's lighthearted mainly because he's pretty naive and least experienced one in the group. That he has the amazing power of a legendary guardian angel. Essentially, yes. Yeah, that's Silver. But he also does a lot of goofy stuff, like there's a big thing in the comics where he has his own garden. But he can't get anything to grow. But he likes growing a garden because he came from a future where there was no plant life. So he wants to make a garden to you know, to try and see it all. And like, you know, he's like screwing up and he can't plant stuff right. Blaze actually helps him with the garden, actually. with something I did not know. Uh, he tries to plant a garden in an area that is like post Eggman attack. Like it's been recovered, but like it was there was like a war, like one of the battles of like Sonic forces or post Sonic forces like took place there, and he can't grow anything. Um, and Blaze is like, "Oh, I can help," and she basically like freaking lights the area on fire. And he's like, "No, what are you doing?" She's like, "You gotta trust me." Um, and she's like, "Listen, the area, the soil, um, has actually been tainted by the chemicals that came from bombs and stuff. However, ashes can uh, can essentially suck out all those harmful chemicals in the soil and refresh it into usable soil. Turns out that's actually scientifically true. Like I actually looked it up and I'm like, whoa. I don't know how Blaze knew that. I guess she's planted many a gardens in fucking bomb fields. I don't know. The comic has a lot. The comics have a lot of stuff like that. That's like really cool, man. That's another big reason why Blaze and Silver get along so well. Although there is a there's a part in the comics where they have a conversation and they decide to basically take a vacation by like just going around the world. And Silver's like, I heard of this town, a beautiful town like near the water called Soliana. Maybe we should go there and check it out. And Blaze is like, all right, cool, let's go. And Soliana is where Sonic 06 takes place. So they kind of just left that as its own side thing. I think actually they don't really show them going. I think they come back from their little vacation and they don't really mention it. I just thought it was pretty funny how they like knew people would be like, no, don't go to Soliana. We don't want Sonic 06 to happen. But yeah, it worked. It definitely worked. See, now I'm trying to think. There's been a couple of story arcs in the IDW comics. The first one, I don't know what they call it, but basically Metal Sonic comes back and tries to conquer the world. That's essentially the first story arc. The second one is the Metal Virus. The third one, I don't remember. It might just be the one revolving around Surge and stuff. Then they had like a mini one, Neo Metal. Yeah. I mean, it was Neo Metal, so yeah, I guess they call it the Neo Metal arc. I don't know, even though Neo Metal was in Heroes. But I guess yeah, technically yes. I know one of the more recent ones was the Phantom Rider story arc, which was essentially there was a big racing tournament with Extreme Gear. Extreme Gear is if you don't know, it's like the hoverboards they ride. And that was a big story arc they just had where there was a big circuit and there was like stuff going on. So it was pretty cool. That was actually really cool because Sonic actually had to like team up with Eggman on something. Eggman gave him like this unique little extreme gear, and he wore an outfit because he was trying to go incognito, so no one knew who he was. So he wore an outfit, called himself the Phantom Rider, and he looked really cool. Yeah, I had to go undercover. I'm trying to remember why. I want to reread all of the comics again because I forgot some of what happened. But yeah. I do find some of the parts of the comic that I don't find as as good. Like there's a whole part um where the Deadly Six come back and they're essentially they take over everything. Um which um which is like, I'm not a really big fan of the Deadly Six. They kind of are lame. Um but first time I saw Phantom Rider in the Roblox game Sonic Speed Simulator. Yeah, dude, when that came out in the Speed Simulator. Yes, I play Sonic Speed Simulator. Not really anymore, but I did. All right, it was a time killer. Okay, I enjoyed it. Um, but yeah, when the Phantom Rider outfit came out, I was like, dude, that's sick. Cause they also threw in his extreme gear that he rides during that story arc. Um, his little, I don't know, Eggman made it, so he called it like the Egg Gear or something. Oh no, he called it the Egg Stream Gear. That's what it was. Hey, Mad. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? How is your stream? Hello, everyone. My name is Volt. I'm your friendly neighborhood fraud with bad humor. Welcome to Fuck It Friday, where I play something random, rare, and ridiculous. It's actually the 50th Fuck It Friday, so I'm doing something special today. And you're looking at it. So, how was perception? You perceived a bug today, literal game bug and a bug character. Did the bug involve the actual bug character? Just curious. Is that unfortunately no? Oh man, you could have said it was a bugged bug. Well, do your post stream care if you have to. If you have any questions about the intense gameplay going on, definitely oh my god! Bus stop! Bus sign! Yeah! Woo! Alright. Cool. Alright. I got stuck in a room, no way to leave it, and no other things to interact with. Ah. That would indeed be a bug. Either that or you're in prison. But even prison, you can use the John, so, yeah. Sorry, the last time we saw a bus stop sign was about, I don't know, a little over an hour ago. So, are you familiar with the intense game that's going on called Desert Bus? I'd be glad to explain it to you, because there's actually a lot going on here. There's going to be something pretty extreme happening in about 3 minutes. I'll see if it fixes itself tomorrow, and otherwise I'm forced to stop the game. I think, oh man, that sucks. There's no, like, save you can reload or anything. I know this game. Very speedrun heavy. I guess you could say that, technically. What's the record? By the way, in case you don't know this, actually, fun fact. Oh, can only quit and continue? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. In case you don't know, there's actually an organization called Desert Bus for Hope, where they stream them playing this game for what, like, probably a bunch of people play it, so like I think they rotate. And they do days at a time, and they raise money for charity along the way, so people donate while they stream. So, some actual good came from Desert Bus, and I'm happy for that. This is not one of the things, though. This is not one of the happy things. Do you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying, see the yellow lines in the middle? I'm trying to make it so that they're all straight. Like, in a straight line, and not like, you see what I mean? I feel like it's like watching the DVD logo bounce around. You're like waiting for it to get in a corner, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make it straight. Doesn't save perfectly, so I can actually get unstuck since it plays me before. Okay, all right, that's good. Yeah. We've been talking about Sonic comics Oh, hi, Turd Ferguson. That's my uncle. I'm sure he would be very interested in the game I'm playing right now. Yeah, I'm judging you for playing that game. Imagine me having like 60 characters, 6 4-star characters, and one of them is Neo Metal. Neo Metal was easy to unlock, dude. Come on. You don't even have like Hero and Evil Shadow from Shadow the Hedgehog. I probably do, actually. I'm pretty sure I have like all kinds of fucking characters. In fact, Tangle and Whisper are in that game. And I have them both. But I haven't played the Sonic Speed Simulator in a while. I went back to it like a few weeks ago just to see what was going on. They had like a Lego Sonic event, which was cool. I played that for a little bit. It's a time killer. It's really is just like a pure time killer. I would like to see you play 10. Okay, that could either be 10 million, but you'd used periods instead of commas. So I'm assuming you mean 10 million, which I don't know what that is. Fuck commas. We don't need commas. What's 10 million? It's one more than 999,999,999 is what it is. You guys like that one? It's like fucking airplane levels of jokes. It's like the fucking old jokes that they're like, this passenger needs to get to a hospital immediately. And they're like, what is it? And they're like, it's a place with patients and doctors, but that's not important right now. It's a fun game. The world is fun to explore. I really do hope we get more open world Sonic games, and we're getting now the Frontier sequel is out. Yeah, Frontier sequel has been in the works for a while, hasn't it? 10,000 is a dungeon crawling puzzle RPG matching game. Run the dungeon, match tiles, and run for as long as you can. Dude, you think I'd just run in a certain direction for hours on end? That's stupid. I'm just gonna drive that much. Okay? I know you were about to make that joke, Rose, because it's exactly the kind of joke you would make. Okay. I still get. You guys might have missed the beginning, but if you this game is actually part of a. Am I saying? Oh. 69! Yeah, you're right. 69. Woo! All right, in the little counter, the mile counter, in the middle. But also for those unaware, my goal is to get 1 point in this game, and you get 1 point if you make it to Las Vegas. And I started in Tucson, Arizona, and we're going at 45 miles an hour, so that's about an 8-hour drive. So give me another 6.5 hours, and we'll be able to get that 1 point. Unless you guys want to go for 2 points, which is you driving all the way back. Bus driver, could you please speed up? I need to be home by 9 p.m. Sorry. I have. You ever seen that movie Speed? It's got a bomb on the bus if you go like under 50 miles an hour or something. I have that. We have a bomb on the bus, but it's the opposite. It's if I go 50 or over. So we're gonna have to go at a max speed of like 45 just to be safe. So instead of speed, it's more like slow, the movie. You know. Yeah, there's a Lego event. I unlocked it. There was a Rockstar event. We got a Vampire Shadow, Rockstar, Sonic, Punk Cream. I don't know what a Punk Cream would look like. I got some Rockstar character. I got Rockstar Rouge, which is cool for, you know, reasons. She's actually also pretty good. Also, they even added an area into Speed Sim from the IDW comics. But not just from the IDW comics, from the classic Sonic IDW comics. So weirdly specific. And they also have two worlds from freaking Sonic Prime, which is interesting. I was going to quit, but I saw Pharaoh playing the game, and I got competitive, wanted to have more stuff to them, so I went back to grind and mostly just left the game on auto runs. Yeah, sometimes it's just like easy as putting it on auto run, equipping all of your all of like the Chow and fast friends that can suck up as much experience and rings as possible. Yeah. Trying to remember what my best character was. I mean, it's probably Neo Metal because he's just so OP, but yeah. I don't know. I have some good stuff in that game, but I probably missed some events. That's kind of the sad thing, is when you go back to a game like that, you know you missed a bunch of events that gonna have things you wanted. You're like, oh my god, I missed Swimsuit Amy? Okay, maybe not everyone would be upset about that one. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, someone would be. Alright? That's what I'm saying. It's me. I would be upset about that if I missed that. But yeah. Someone. Their outfits from, like, Sonic X and comic. I know they had outfits from the comics. Sonic X outfits? Really? I think I tried watching like a couple episodes of Sonic X and I just couldn't get through it. I mean, it is like it's obviously for kids. Get it, for kids. Haha. But also it has Jason Griffith as Sonic, and I just don't like his performance as Sonic. I'm sorry. He's my least favorite Sonic. I just don't like his delivery. It's like summer outfit Amy Cream from the fucking beach episode. I knew there was a summer outfit for like some characters, but I didn't know if it was a I didn't know it was a reference to Sonic X. Also, one of the only things I remember from Sonic X is the really shitty English theme song. Sonic X was an anime, for those unaware. It was a Sonic anime, aired around the early to mid 2000s. It was made by it was localized by 4Kids, which are the same people who worked on the Pokemon and the Yu-Gi-Oh anime and all that shit. So it was, yeah. Sonic rated Area 99, never forget that. You did? What's Area 99? I don't remember that. Also, I don't think Sonic X isn't canon, from what I know. It wouldn't make sense if it was canon. So I don't know. I don't know if that really checks out. Though I would endorse that weird semi-lesbian relationship that Rouge seems to have with that human officer lady. I endorse that. I don't remember Shadow too much from the Sonic X. Something I was going to mention earlier is Shadow in the IDW comics, actually, because there's some things about him that I just, in the comics, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I get his edginess, but sometimes he's a little too much. Like, there's a part in the comic where, like, Omega gets, like, completely dismantled, essentially, except for his head. So they're carrying his head around, and he's just talking to them. Does Shadow hate foxes? In the comics? I don't know. He hasn't thrown around tails. I don't think he's even fought Kit and Surge, so I guess that's to be seen. But when there's a point where, like, I think it's like Amy and Tails and like Cream. They have like Omega's head, which is really funny. I love Omega so much because he just wants to kill Eggman robots. That's all he wants to do. And it's really entertaining because even when he's ahead, he's like, I will bite their legs off. Like he's like, it's like watching the Black Knight from Monty Python. Like he still wants to fucking throw down. And there's a part where like while they're trying to find like parts for Omega, they run into Shadow, who's just doing his own thing. They're like, Shadow, do you want to help? He's like, no. They're like, but we're trying to find new parts to fix Omega. He's like, I don't care. And then he leaves. And I'm like, okay, you'd think with Omega at the very least he would care a little bit, but I don't know. Also, he gets himself fucking zombified by the metal virus. Maybe he just hates Tails. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's it. There's a part where when you fight the metal virus, you're highly encouraged to not touch them because if you touch them, then you get the virus on you. So it's like worse than zombies, right? Zombies they have to bite you, but the metal virus you can't even touch them. And there's a part where Shadow and like Team Dark essentially is actually trying to like save a bunch of people. Omega's having a fucking blast because he just wants to kill robots that were made by Eggman, and everyone is a zombie robot made by Eggman. So he literally is just cool with shooting everyone. Don't worry, people don't die because if you're a zombie robot, you actually just like regenerate after a while. It's like X-Men Wolverine rules. Like, it's very hard to actually... They call them zombots. It's actually very hard to kill zombots. So, even though Omega's, like, just massacring tons of people, Sonic's like, you know what, that's okay, because at least they're not dying. Because there's a moment where, like, Sonic is trying to get him to stop. He's like, no, they're not freaking Eggman robots, they're people. And freaking Omega... I mean, he's already a robot, so he holds one up and he's like, is this a robot? He's like, well, I mean, I guess. He's like, was it made by Eggman? It's like, well, technically, yes. He just chucks them away, starts shooting them again. I love Omega so much. But yeah, to be honest, I expect him to be immune since he's the ultimate life form. I think they don't really explicitly say it, but I think that's why he just goes in. He like Sonic warns Shadow. He's like, Shadow, don't fight them. That you will get infected. Like you don't know what you're up against. And Shadow's like, I'm the ultimate life form. I don't need to be afraid. And so sure enough, Shadow gets in there, starts fucking him up, and then he gets infected, and he's like flabbergasted because he's like, dude, I'm the ultimate life form. What the fuck? So later on, he admits it. He's like I forget how he does it, but he ends up thanking Sonic. He's like I just want to thank you. He's like, why? And he's like, for warning me. And but yeah, obviously he has to do it in like a super edgy way, and I don't remember how he does it. But yeah, Shadow gets zombotified. So that's fun for Sonic. I mean, the good thing about Sonic is since he's already infected, he can fight them one-on-one. However, it does speed up his infection, so afterwards he has to run it off to subdue the infection. Yeah, the writer did confirm that his ego being the most ultimate life form got him killed. Yeah, exactly. But, like, a bunch of people get turned. Like, even main characters. Charmy actually gets turned. And, because Vector and Espio got separated from him, and Charmy tried to save someone, and accidentally got infected. But they did find him infected, and, they took one of those capsules, and they kept him in there, until they could find a way to, like, bring him back. Oh, also, Cream is traumatized because she literally had to be dragged away as her mom was being infected. So that was great. That was fantastic. So yeah, the Metal Virus saga is really dark and it fucks everyone up. Yeah, pretty much all of Cream's family gets zombified. The only one who doesn't is Gamurl, because he's a robot already. But no, her mom Vanilla gets zombified. Both Cheese and Chocolate get zombified, which are her two Chow. In fact, as Vanilla is turning, she's surrounded by zombies, and she has to like beg Amy to take her daughter out. It's really intense. I'm telling you, dude, the comics are really cool. I just I love how dark it gets. It, you know. But I hate that I'm spoiling it, but I'm sure a lot of you probably aren't even gonna read the comics anyway. So Whisper thought about killing Eggman, but Cream talked her out of it. That sounds familiar. I mean, Eggman is technically also guilty for getting her team killed, because that was kind of what happened. Is the traitor in her team basically made a deal with Eggman, essentially, and then they were invading an Eggman base, and then Mimic turned on everyone and got them all killed. But since she was a sniper, she was outside doing reconnaissance, so basically she just had to listen to all of her friends dying, which was nice. And then eventually she got close to Tangle. Even though they're nothing alike, they became like best friends. And then during the Zombot, the Metal Virus arc, Tangle ended up getting turned, traumatizing her even more. Then her best friend becomes a zombie. Yeah, life sucks for her. I worry eventually, at least, but I do want to get into it. See, I don't want to spoil everything. Even though, again, I would talk about everything, dude. I would love to talk about it. In fact, I wouldn't mind if this whole stream was me just talking about the IDW comics. They're so good. There is a villain in the IDW comics. Actually, there's a couple original villains, but there is one who I would actually really like to see in the games, but I can't. Because he, I mean, you don't know who I'm talking about, so I guess I can say it. Yeah, he fucking dies. All right, he's dead. He basically has a building fall on top of him. I thought it would be like a fake out, right? Like he survived somehow. No. It's been a long time, and he has yet to come back. So I think he's dead. I think he's just completely dead. Is he the duck one? There is no duck villain. And also I said I would not say who it was, so don't ask, obviously. But there is no duck villain, technically. But I'm not going to say who it is. It's not Surge, I guess, I'll say. It's not Surge or Kit. Actually, Surge has indeed... Surge is discovered through many ways that she is essentially Wolverine. And the way she discovered this is, I mean, pretty much how you would. So it's like... You know, how would you discover if you had Wolverine powers? Well, you get, I mean, you could get, hypothetically, crushed by a giant robot into a wall. and then still not die. That'd probably do it. That'd probably let you know that you probably have Wolverine powers. Just a hunch. Anyway, does Infinite appear much? There is IDW does have a few side comics, like the one I was telling you guys about, the classic Sonic ones. And then there's going to be a Sonic Racing Crossworlds one later this year. There is a couple side comics that take place before or right at the start of Sonic Forces, and one of them does tell about the backstory of Infinite and how he came to be. It shows what he looked like before, like without his mask and everything. However, in the main continuity, he has not come back. So I have not seen him yet. Whether or not he's alive, I don't know. So, you could also find out by walking through a metal detector. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean you had metal in you. I just meant, like, what's the biggest factor of Wolverine and his powers? Don't think about the metal or the claws or anything, but, like, what's the major thing that he has, Also, that rookie does appear as an Easter egg. Yeah, actually, the background of him, it's very short, but the background of the rookie is indeed in the side comic with the forces and stuff. Anger issues? No, the fact that he can't die, Rose. The fact that he can't die. Basically. Yeah. Oh, great. I got the same bot twice. Fantastic. I don't know if you guys can even see the bot. It says some of the bot. Thank you, Rad. There's some bots it shows up and it says you guys can't see, but you guys can see it. And then there are some that it says you can't see and you actually are like, I don't see anything. So I don't know how that works. I couldn't see it. Yeah. I don't know if Rookie should return one day into the game. I don't think he's important enough. He was literally made to be a foil for the player. So it's like he's literally a blank slate. So I don't think it's important. There's certain characters I wouldn't expect to return. I mean, there are obvious ones like Chaos and Tikal. Any characters that are dead, like just straight up dead. I mean, like Maria and Gerald Robotnik. The only reason they came back is because he was time traveling, essentially. And then, come on, he's your OC, and he fist bumps Sonic, even though I wanted him to kiss mouth to mouth instead. I know you did. But I don't think Sonic Forces was good enough to warrant an Avatar character sticking around. Also, I'm hoping Classic Sonic is gone for good. Not the games, like the character who traveled to the present or to the main time, whatever it is, time travel or dimension travel, timeline travel, whatever it is. Like he's done. Keep him away from the. Make him do his own games. Keep him away. We don't need him. Like he was only in Forces because they knew people really liked Generations, and they thought if they kept him around in Forces, people would enjoy it too. And instead, people were like, "What the fuck? Why is he here?" Green Hill looks a lot more like Sand Hill now. I think they do make a joke about that in the IDW comics, but I'm not 100% on that. Sonic is actually very likable in the IDW comics. I have... Because, like, before, like, Sonic, he's been, like, the likable, hip guy with a sassy attitude. But, like, let's face it, a lot of his friends are more interesting, you know. Um, but honestly, I think after Frontiers and reading the comics, I actually really like Sonic himself now. And that's another thing. I wasn't a big fan of Roger's voice for Sonic, but after Frontiers, I think Frontiers solidified him as being really good. Like he was really able to show his stuff. And when I was seeing him interact with people in Crossworlds, I'm like, you know what? This is a good voice for Sonic. I like it. I like it better than Jason and Ryan probably. But I mean, never better than Jaleel White, the iconic Sonic, the best one, by a country mile. Anyway, or what? Who voiced Sonic in Sonic Schoolhouse? We need Sonic Schoolhouse Sonic to come back. This isn't Desert Bus anymore. This is Sonic Bus. We talk about Sonic characters. Okay. Where's the you know how they do like taxi trivia and stuff? We need like a bus trivia for Sonic. Who's pink and has a big who has a great big hammer? That's right, it's Amy Rose. Welcome to Hot Chick Heaven. I rewatched that the other day. That's so. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? If you're in the Sonic fandom, you have to know what I'm talking about. Fuck, I thought it was Super Knuckles. Yeah, I know, it was a tough one. You know what's weird, though? Okay, alright. They said the classic Sonic continuity is different than, like, it's a different section than the modern continuity, right? So that's why characters stay in the classic continuity and stuff. But one of the newer games in the classic Sonic continuity is Sonic Superstars, right? And there's a character in there named Trip, okay? And there is a map in Crossworlds that goes through the area in Sonic Superstars, right? Which is like, okay, whatever, right? I mean, it's a separate continuity, but like that's the whole point of like the cross-world traveling, right? So if there's a track that goes through it, it's like, okay, well, it's they're going through an alternate dimension kind of thing. But there's a line by Amy when they're there that she's like, "Oh, I wonder if I'll see Trip." And I'm like, "Okay, so is she from the modern continuity or not?" Like I'm confused. Or is the classic Sonic continuity just earlier in the timeline? But it can't be. Otherwise, the classic Sonic from Generations and Forces, the modern Sonic would have remembered that because he would have experienced it as back in time. Classic is in different timeline or dimension. So then how does Amy know Trip? How does modern Amy know classic Trip? I like, it doesn't make any sense. It's so confusing. I mean, and you can't say like, oh, maybe Sonic Superstars isn't in the classic dimension. Maybe it's just in the classic style. But Fang is in it. So it clearly is part of the classic dimension timeline thing. So I don't know how that works. Well, whatever. Also, frickin' Amy has mentioned Styx, who's in the Sonic Boom timeline. So I don't know where that came from. Styx, in case you're wondering, Styx is not in the IDW comics anywhere. So that has nothing to do with it. I think Trip did have, like, a part, like, kind of part of an issue in IDW, maybe like a spin-off one, but I don't remember. Oh, there's another ad in about 50 seconds. Ad 2 of 8. I don't know. Alternate timelines, I'll never know. I'm just hoping we get some, This all started with us talking about Crossworlds and me wanting comic characters in the game. Give me the more obscure comic characters. Give me Jewel the Beetle. She's a great character in the IDW comics. No one talks about Jewel. Where's Jewel? I already mentioned Lanolin. Nobody talks about Lanolin either. Put Lanolin in there. I'm sure there's others that I just can't remember right now. Minor characters. I mean, Styx is just like a joke character. He's primitive, technophobic, insane hermit. She's constantly stupid. Oh, I'm saying, like, she can exist in the modern timeline, but, like, why did they throw it in there as if no one would question it? Like, it's just a side comment Amy says. She's like, oh, I wonder if Cream and Styx are free. It's like, wait, Styx is canon? Like, I'm so confused. That's gonna be a game for the playthrough, for a playthrough on our channel. Don't worry, I'll find a way to play Sonic Boom. For those unaware, Sonic Boom, what is it? The Rise of Lyric for the Wii U is known to be one of the worst, if not the worst, Sonic game. Yeah, I know that's that's not really a high bar, but still, because it's a glitchy mess, with really shitty writing. But I do want to play it because of that. I think it would be really funny. And the cool thing is that I wouldn't even be able to connect online to update it because of the Wii U. So why that's a cool thing is that means I don't have to worry about any of the glitches being patched out. We could just enjoy the shit show. It's so good. All right. Is all the Sonic talk getting to you guys? Would you rather talk about something else? Or do you want me to talk about Sonic for the next 6 hours? I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, it's keeping my mind occupied. It's hard to believe it's been like almost 2 hours now. So it's working. I just need something else on my mind. I wonder if my coffee is still good. Kind of. I guess the comics just love adding funny Easter eggs, like they added Rookie in the background. Yeah. Well, they're pretty good about continuity. Within themselves, at least. I mean, there's stuff from the games that's been retconned, but, like, stuff within themselves. A lot of the character. You can use the time to write a Sonic fan fiction out loud. Oh my god, there was an evil room that Eggman, he captured, Amy Rose and Bruce the Bat and Vanilla the Rabbit, amongst other, random female Sonic characters. And then he vaporized all their clothes up. Write a fanfic between you and Shadow? Oh, okay, if you guys want to hear that instead. Alright. One time I was driving...
What the fuck?
Did you guys time that? Because all I heard was that coming out of Rad's mouth. That was brilliant. Alright. One time I was driving a bus in the desert, and it turns out Shadow was on the bus, and I was like, dude, what are you doing on my bus? And he's like, where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald? I'm like, dude, I don't know, I'm just driving a bus. You want to go to Las Vegas? He's like, I don't care. What do you mean vaporize their clothes off? Oh, well, vaporization is when something basically disintegrates with no traces left. Clothes are something you put on to keep warm and keep yourself decent when in public, so not to obscure your private areas. Anyway, Shadow was on the bus, and then I was like, hey, Shadow, you guys decided to have sex with Latinas then? Don't be ridiculous. There are no Latinas on the bus. Otherwise, yes. But if it's just me and Shadow on the bus, that's why you can't see him. He's literally in the shadows in the back. You can't notice. He blends in with the black and red. But he's just being angsty back there. He's trying to remember why he decided to take the bus instead of just running there, or literally teleporting there like he can actually do. But he's on the bus, and he doesn't do anything. Like, he's not on his phone or reading something. He's literally just being angsty, which means he's angrily looking out the window, you know, contemplating life. Very regretting that he promised Maria he wouldn't kill anybody. Because there's so many people he wants to kill. Why does Sonic Shadow drive a car despite being fast to run? Okay, everyone has asked that question. He's playing I Spy by himself. Actually, I like that. I spy a rock. Shit. It's gone. So, okay, everyone asks, like, in the Sonic race, like, the Sega racing games, like, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed and shit. They're like, why does Sonic drive a car? Why does Shadow drive a car? And I thought of two reasons, and I always said them because it made sense to me. One, you know, yeah, they can run fast and they can run for a while, but you gotta be tired after a while, you know? I mean, they have some great stamina, but that's a lot of running, you know? If you're running multiple tracks. And also, if Sonic and Shadow could run instead of having to drive cars, they'd win. Like, it wouldn't even be a contest. Of course they'd win. They're the freaking fastest creatures in the world. And my theory has been confirmed because in one of the rival interactions, I forget who, but someone asked Sonic why he's driving a car when he could just run. And he's like, oh, I'm just doing it to level the playing field. And I'm like, that's exactly what I mean. Like, he's driving to, like, not cheat. Everyone asked that question. It was always, the answer was always obvious to me, and I was just, everyone treated like it was a flaw, and I'm like, dude, no, it's like they would win. It's like if you frickin' put Hulk Hogan in a boxing match among preteens, but they strapped fucking 5 pillows to each of his hands. It's like, you know, why doesn't he just beat them up without the pillows? It's like, well, obviously he'd win. That's all I'm saying. Alright? So, there's my explanation. There's the hot plot lore from your driver, V Daddy. Yeah, I think all of those weeks of GTA has really been only to prepare me for this. Although I think I drove a bus once in GTA. Maybe telling you about his PTSD for the 5th time about Maria just to pass the time. You think he'd move on, dude? Just because he saw his, like, fucking childhood best friend and the only person that understood him just get shot in the back right before he had to flee the station. You'd think he'd get over it by now. Jeez. Then he had to watch her disappear again in Shadow Generations right in front of him. So, Sonic has FOMO. He doesn't want to be the only one without a car. I like that. You know what? Let's just go with that one. It's also like why in like Sonic Riders you just always race with extreme gear. I'm surprised they did that though. When I first saw Sonic Racing Crossworlds coming out, I was shocked that they brought the Babylon Rogues back, which is Jet, Wave, and Storm. And I guess like it made sense to bring Extreme Gear back because like I'm pretty sure Jet, Wave, and Storm they can still drive like regular cars in the game, right? I don't know how that works. But it seems like any character can ride either a car or an Extreme Gear, which is for those unaware, it's the hoverboard. But like the Babylon Rogues exclusively used to race on the Extreme Gear, so they can drive cars. Okay, it's probably weird though, right? It's like that's not their thing. They're like the team that races on Extreme Gear. You know? So but I mean, it makes sense if they're gonna bring them back that they'd implement Extreme Gear into the game. To be honest, after smiling that big in Sonic Crossworld after crashing Metal, I think he moved on by taking out his anger on him. Wait, who? What you think? Well, I don't. I do find it entertaining that I mean Metal can't really respond because Metal can't speak. He can speak when he's like Neo Metal, but he can't speak when he's regular Metal. You know, there's like a scene where Shadow crashes Metal in the Crossworld. Oh, is it? Wow. I don't remember that. I don't know if I've even seen all the trailers, so. Have you guys seen the like, I'm pretty sure you have if we're talking about it, but have you seen the person who animated some of the best Crossworld rival interactions? Those are really funny. It's like I like the one between fucking the Shadow has a lot of good ones. Just because of how angsty he is. What's the one he says against Jet? Jet like calls Shadow like Sonic's boring doppelganger, and Shadow's like, "Your words are as hollow as your racing record." It's like, it's pretty funny. Some of their interactions. But I do like Omega's interactions too. I mean, Omega's always funny. I think there's like an interaction where when Omega gets hit by Tails with an item, Tails is like, "Oh, sorry, Omega," and he's like, "I will disassemble you." Like, jeez, Omega. Holy crap. He's so good. He's one of my favorite. It's hard when when I was younger, I think my favorite Sonic character was between, because I mainly, my first Sonic game was Heroes, so probably would have said either SBO or Omega, because I thought they were cool. And then for a while I thought like, oh, Blaze is the coolest because conceptually I like her, but God, it's so hard to pick now who my favorite would be, because I like a lot of them now. Again, there's very few I don't like. Most of the Deadly Six I don't like, I will say. Zavok has actually had some relevance in the IDW comics. He actually has had some interesting stuff going on with him. Um, I mean, he is kind of generic, like, I'm evil and I want to kill everyone kind of thing, or I want to rule the world kind of thing. But he does have some moments, some decent moments. And then the only other member of the Deadly Six that I actually care about is the one that's in Crossroads, which is Zaz, who I didn't care about originally, but after seeing all of his interactions in Crossroads, I kind of he kind of charmed me. Not gonna lie, the voice actor really did a good job, like making him just butt fuck insane and pretty entertaining. Like, I don't think I would laugh at anything he said, but he's very entertaining to watch. You know what I mean? The other members of the Deadly Six, I honestly could not give less of a shit about. There's the big guy who eats a lot, who's dumb. There's the chick who's pretty and really snobby. Doesn't want to like fucking break a nail. Then there's the emo guy who doesn't even want to do anything. So I don't even know why he's there. Then there's like the small ancient guy who's like the kung fu master essentially. I always find it funny how whenever Zavok talks about the Deadly Six, he's like, "We are the greatest warriors in the cosmos," you know, shit like that. Then you see like fucking Zomom, the big guy, and he's like, "I just want to eat a sandwich." It's like, yeah, sure, buddy. I don't even think you believe that. So, honestly, if they gave them more to do, they did have a bit of a thing going on in the comics during the Metal Virus arc. But mostly it was just kind of eh. And most of the stuff involved Zavok. Sonic and Rouge's curves, you know, that was a good one. That was a good one. I like how he like basically knows how she is now. Sonic's just messing with her, which I appreciate. I mean, hey, you know what? He's got a point. I'm sure he probably wouldn't have said that to Amy if she made a comment. But, you know. Although I am happy that Amy is no longer just the character that fawns over Sonic. The ultimate failure of the Bechdel test. You know what I mean? But she's definitely more than that now. Also, that's another good interaction. There's so many good ones in interactions in Crossworlds, or like she's talking to Omega. She's like, oh, hey, listen, this is a race, not a battle, okay? So take it easy out there. And he's like, I will win this race and you will lose. Cry about it on your own time. Like, jeez, dude. So good, man. If you want to hear the best ones, I would definitely watch the little animated thing. I forgot who made it, but who animated like some of the best ones. It's really funny. It was nice to see like characters like Sage start to talk to people. Cause like that's fat. Like that's another character I really like. I really like Sage. Despite the fact there were moments in Frontiers that, like when she cried in Frontiers and had that fucking montage, that was hilarious. There's no way I wouldn't laugh at that. It was so funny. Starts crying because she wants friendship, has flashbacks of essentially her dad yelling at her the whole time. Playing like the sad baby girl voice music. It was so fun. It's still so funny to this day. But I do like Sage as a concept. I like the idea of Eggman having like a daughter who's essentially just an AI that he made. You know? It's like the most loyal character to him, essentially, other than Metal most of the time. I think the only time Metal has gone against Eggman was in Sonic Heroes, and I think after that it's canon that he like patched out all of Metal's most rebellious aspects, and because Metal like fucking will die for Eggman now. It's definitely shown in the IDW comics. In fact, without Metal, Eggman probably wouldn't have been able to come back from his loss after Sonic Forces. They actually have trouble with it because turns out after the events of Sonic Forces, Eggman lost his memory and became a good guy. He became just a happy guy. He was a tinkerer for this like mountain village, and he would he would make like little kiddie rides, and he would like fix their doors and their and their furniture and stuff. He was just a happy guy, and but like he didn't have his memory. Like it took everyone like a while to like believe him for obvious reasons, but it was legit. He lost his memory and everything. And then another bad guy who idolized Eggman kidnapped him and tried to give him his memory back, but nothing worked. Like he tried everything. And it wasn't until Metal came back to him that the second he started to, like, he went up to Metal, he instantly remembered everything. And it was Metal who technically brought him back. It's actually really sad. Because Eggman he became such a sweet guy when he was Mr. Tinkerer. He was just a nice dude. In fact, the second the Mountain Village people found him, like, unconscious, they threw him in a cell for obvious reasons, because he just took over the world. And when they went back to him, he actually, like, he repaired his cell. He's like, oh, these were coming undone, so I fixed them for you. And from then on. Guys, you don't even need to read the comics, because I'm just going to apparently just spout it all out right now. That's actually when he created, I think the best part from Metal is when he was walking around Eggman's lab watching people turn into Zombots. He finds a bucket of the virus, he touches it, it doesn't affect him, he just looks at his hand. Yeah, it's a very nice moment. Yeah. This is the audiobook version. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, essentially, when Eggman was Mr. Tinkerer, that's when he created Belle, like the wooden puppet. And when he went back to being Eggman, obviously he didn't really give a shit about her. Although I think he kind of forgot he made her. And that's why Belle is kind of traumatized, because essentially her dad is gone. And, because her dad was Mr. Tinkerer. Now that he's Eggman again, it's just a completely different person. So that's why she's like traumatized. And yeah, it was really sad, because when he got kidnapped, he was like he's so earnest. He's like, oh, I can repair things. I can do whatever you want. Just please don't turn me back. It was like really disheartening. Oh, also Shadow was really fucking pissed off, though. Because they'd been looking for Eggman forever since the end of Forces. And it was actually the Chaotix crew that found him. Actually, I think it was actually Rouge that found him and then tipped off the Chaotix crew. Regardless, they found him. And then Shadow figured out that he was still alive, and he figured out where he was. And obviously, after everything that happened in Forces, Shadow did not want him alive still. Shadow definitely wanted him gone. But luckily Sonic found Eggman first. Or rather, he found Mr. Tinkerer first. And when Shadow got there, he was like, wait, no, he honestly doesn't remember anything. Um, and him and the Chaotix crew were completely debating what to do, because they're like, well, it's Eggman, but he has complete amnesia. Like, he doesn't remember anything, so what do we do, right? Um, and the head of the village comes up to him, and he's like, if I can give you our input, Mr. Tinker has been around for a while now, and we've had him in the town. He's been repairing everything, and I'd rather have him out and doing some good than rotting in a jail cell. And they're like, you know what, that makes sense. So they're like, okay, we'll let him be Mr. Tinkerer. And then Shadow showed up, and he's like, no, he's dying. So yeah, Sonic tried to defend him, and then they got into a huge fight, and then they had this great moment where, like, Shadow's like, you're really gonna forgive him for everything he did? Like, every single little thing? You're just gonna overlook it? Like, he tried to kill you many times. And Sonic has a moment, he's looking at Shadow, he's like, you tried to kill me too. You even tried to destroy the world. So if we can't forgive Eggman, can we forgive you? And that's what convinces Shadow to let him live. And I thought that was really cool. Alright? Thought it was neat. Then Shadow's like, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, he told him, yeah. It's one of my favorite moments in the comic. So Shadow decides to just, let him live. And then he gets kidnapped and turned back into Eggman, and that's when he creates the zombie virus. So, yeah. Everyone really kind of starts regretting not taking care of him when they had the chance. Except for Sonic. Sonic's like, yeah, it sucks, but I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have killed him. I'm happy I left him alive. Not for what happened, but... Because everyone starts getting on Sonic's case about it, right? Because, like, Shadow's like, okay, if you just taken care of Eggman when we found him, none of this zombie shit would happen. After Charmy gets turned, Espio even gets on Sonic's case, being like, if you just let us take care of Eggman, we'd all be fine. So... And Sonic, he's got some internal things going on, because obviously he knows what they mean, and he kind of feels it a little bit himself. But, I don't know. It's hard to say whether or not he did the right thing, It's like, what do you think? Do you think he should have killed him when he had the chance? When he was just an innocent guy helping a town? I don't know. It's a difficult decision, and I think that's what makes it a cool one, is because there's no, like, clear-cut right answer, and those are the kinds of things I like the most in stories, when it's just that kind of internal struggle. So, yeah. But he comes back, unfortunately, and creates the zombie apocalypse. You should have killed whoever turned him back to Eggman. Okay, well, the person who turned him... Well, technically it was Metal, right? Because it took Metal showing up to, because after the whole issue with the Neo Metal stuff, they basically chained up Metal Sonic, and Sonic went to talk to him. He's like, listen, dude, Eggman's gone. Alright? Like, they didn't tell him that he became Mr. Tinker or whatever. They literally told him, Eggman's gone. Your only reason for doing all this shit is gone. Like, it's up to you what you want to do. And then they just let him go. Sure enough, Metal finds Eggman after he got kidnapped. And when he shows up, that's when Eggman comes back. But the person who kidnapped Eggman, well, technically it was Rough and Tumble. They literally kidnapped him, but they were hired by another villain named Dr. Starline. who is one of the biggest new villains in IDW. Um, and he fucking worshipped Eggman, which is why he wanted to bring him back. And why he's the one who was able to find him. So technically it was Dr. Starline that kind of set things into motion. Which is, that's another thing. That's when Belle finds that out. Yeah, she is very upset. Because she's like, you know, you took my father away from me. Because he turned him back in it. Dr. Starline is a platypus. In case you're wondering. But he has a very signature look to him. Poor gal, yeah. Yeah. He doesn't look stupid. You'd think like a platypus would look dumb. But no. In fact, that's probably who Rad was referring to earlier when he asked about a duck. He looks, in fact, if you look at him, you basically just see like a duck from like a Disney duck, but like if it was Sonicified. But he actually is a platypus named Dr. Starline. There's a scene of Sonic lashing out to Metal for coming back to Eggman. That he could be like Omega Gamera. Yeah. Well, because there's a part in the zombie Metal Zombie arc where basically the Deadly Six take over the operation, right? And like Eggman doesn't have control over it anymore. So Eggman has to team up with the heroes, along with Metal also has to team up with the heroes. And yeah, they're like preparing for something, and Sonic is trying to. Sonic's on a treadmill because remember he has to keep running to subdue the Metal virus that's infecting him, and like Metal is just standing there, and he's talking to Metal, and he's like, "Listen, dude, you could have done anything. You could have left. You could have done your own thing. You could have you could have been your own person, but you just went crawling back to Eggman." They have like a really serious scene, and it's really good. It's really good. But yeah, they have to team up with Eggman and Starline and everything. Because Eggman, when he created the Metal Virus, one thing that he did not plan for is how to control the zombie robots. He was like, "Oh, I'll figure that out later." He was like, I'll just let because I mean his goal was to just get the whole world infected, so I guess he was like, okay, well, you know, I have plenty of time to figure it out. They're infecting the world, so you know, why not? Yeah, I always forget about Gamerl though. He is indeed in the IDW comics. It is canon that he lives with Cream's family. Gamerl is another robot who was an evil robot but was reprogrammed by Tails to be a good robot, and now basically he basically just serves Cream's family. He's like, he helps her out around the house. He does chores and stuff. And he like protects them with his life, essentially. He's a cool guy. Him and Omega actually get into a little spat because Omega like calls him weak and a coward because all he does is just play around with Cream's family. But Gamerl and Omega actually, they straight up, they're like, okay, let's settle this. And they have a fight, and they fuck each other up. But by the end of it, they come to an understanding. And they start to understand why each other does what they do. So that's a good moment. I mean, there are good moments all over the place. One of my favorites, because, you know, it got my girl Blaze in there, was they finally put Burning Blaze into something that was, you know, not Sonic Rush. Burning Blaze, if you don't know, so Blaze is from another dimension, right? That's essentially like very similar to Sonic's dimension. It's just you know, the world is the Earth is different. It's got different countries and stuff. But in Blaze's dimension, uh, they don't have the Chaos Emeralds because Sonic, he's got the 7 emeralds, turns him into Super Sonic. In Blaze's dimension, they have the Soul Emeralds. It's basically the same thing, but for Blaze. And Blaze doesn't turn into like Super Blaze; she turns into Burning Blaze. And so they put her to use during the Metal Sonic, the Neo Metal arc towards the beginning, because Neo Metal takes over Angel Island. And she's like, all right. And Amy takes command because she's actually the commander. She's like the head of the Restoration in the beginning of the comics. So she like takes command a lot of the time. She's like, all right, we got 3 teams. First team is Sonic and Knuckles. They're going to go straight for Metal Sonic. Then all of us will take this side of the island. And that entire side of the island, that's you, Blaze. Because they're like, you're just going to go Burning Blaze and just fuck everything up. And sure enough, she blows off, like, the island has, like, 2 big wings now. She blows off an entire wing of a fucking island. She just fucking wrecks shit. It's awesome. Anyway, Winnie decides to stay with Cream when she gets infected. Oh, yeah. There's a part of the Metal Virus arc where, so Cream's family gets turned, but Gamerl, who, already a robot, does not. But they do get to a point where Cream herself does get infected, and Gamerl decides to stay with her, to keep her company until she turns. That was sad, too. Sag indeed. Anyway, there you go. Spoilers. Spoilers for the Sonic. Anyone who doesn't want spoilers for Sonic comics, don't watch the stream. It's a little late. But, I could talk about I could just talk about everything if you want me to. I don't know if you guys want to just watch it for yourself. Or, sorry, read it for yourself. I did find, like, a place online where you can literally just read them all. It's like, you don't need to pay anything. It's not like shady or anything. They're just all there, and you can just read them. So I was like, oh, all right, cool. I forget what it is, but I'm sure if I go looking for it, I'll find it. Yeah. I did to my friend, shared it to me. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of issues. I say issues as in editions of a comic, not as in problems. Homophones, man. They're a bitch. Actually, it's not a homophone, is it? It's just a word that means different things, I guess. It's not a homophone. Homophones mean they're spelled differently, right? I'm trying to remember my freaking first grade phonics, okay? Where's Reader Rabbit when you need him? You guys remember Reader Rabbit? Anyone? I remember Reader Rabbit. I know him from his computer games. I had a computer game of Reader Rabbit. And it's essentially exactly what you'd expect from a character called Reader Rabbit. It's a bunch of learning things for kids. I also had an Arthur one that had a bunch of like mini games in it, but it was also like a book story, which is weird because I've never been a fan of Arthur. That was literally the only piece of Arthur like media that I partook in. How dare you talk shit about Big when he kicked Metal Amy's ass in the comic? Did I talk shit about Big? When did I talk shit about... I don't think we talked about Big once in this entire stream. I don't think I mentioned Big at all. Also, I don't even know what you're talking about. kicking Metal Amy's ass. IDW, I don't think so. Last few streams? I don't know. I don't have too much against Big. The only thing I don't like Big for is Sonic Adventure, because that made me want to tear my dick off. But other than that, I don't really have too much of a problem with Big. He's supposedly like incredibly strong and powerful, but like he just doesn't want to do any of that. Poor Froggy. Yeah, poor Froggy. Big does turn into a Zombot. Froggy also turns into a Zombot. So that's unfortunate for them. They don't really do anything. Just wants freedom. Well, apparently freedom equals hooking him in the mouth and grabbing him out of a water creature. Robot frog. A zombie robot frog. Yeah. It's another fan comic again. Fuck, I was bored. Read a few fan comics. I don't really like fan comics. It's just, it gets too fan fiction-y. I mean, like, it is fan fiction, but I think you know what I mean when I say it gets too fan fiction-y for me. It also makes it really hard for me to, like, watch those videos where people voice fan comics. You ever seen those? I like try to watch them and like I get like 5 seconds in and like it's just, oh, it's so cringe. I can't. I'm sorry. I tried. But it's too cringe. Right? I watch it. I'm like, oof. Oh. This is definitely something. But yeah. Hey, if you're bored, I recommend those Sonic IDW comics. I know I haven't really talked about them that much, but if you're bored, go ahead and read those. They're really good. Anyway, the dub, they don't act well. It's like they're whispering and don't want to wake up their parents most of the time. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Fuck you. Wait, what'd I say? What did I say? I said if you're bored, go read the comics. That's all I said. And then I was facetious about not talking about them. Unless I spoiled them for you. In which case, I'm sorry. I know I probably went on too much of a tangent. You guys know me. Sometimes I go on tangents of things I like way too much. Yes, Sonic has comics. Who knew? I'll read them eventually. Fair enough. It's hard to ask someone to get into them or give them a try, because it's like, no, it's fine. You'll like it. Just give it like 100 issues and then you'll get into it. It's like, I've said this about like recommending TV shows. It's like, it's easy to recommend a movie to someone, because, I mean, a movie is something that, like, you know, it's like 2 hours long, maybe a little more, and then, you know, that's it. That's like one afternoon or one evening of entertainment. So if they don't like it, it's whatever. But if you recommend a TV show, it's like, that's a lot. Asking someone to like watch a lot of shit. And then especially if you're like, oh, it doesn't get good until season 2. It's like, so what? You want me to watch an entire shitty season 1 just to get to the good parts? Like, I don't want that. You know, that's why I don't really recommend TV shows to people. I mean, I'll like recommend them, but I won't expect anyone to really watch them. I had a lot of trouble asking people about like Steven Universe, because I don't remember how or why I got into it, but I enjoyed it. But it doesn't really get good until like the middle of season 1, so I really don't recommend it to people that much. And also, it's like a really divisive thing. Apparently, there are people who really hate that show. I don't really know why, but I liked it. I do like it. It's just so much issues. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, when I was looking into getting into Sonic comics, I only knew of the Archie series. So I'm like, I actually read like some of the earlier Archie stuff, and I'm like, this is like entertaining. It's not really that good, it's kind of like entertaining, especially when there's like just really weird shit. Like when Eggman creates a robot Steve Urkel, the Urkel bot. That was weird. That was I don't know what that was all about. But amongst other things that were weird. Um, but like when I heard of the IDW comics and that there weren't nearly as much of them, I was like, oh okay, I'll take a look. And the fact that they were canon made me interested rather. I'll just listen to them through you. Okay, yeah, exactly. You know how I do like multiple voices for characters in games of varying quality? Maybe I should just go through the Sonic comics and do my voices for the character. I'll just stream that. Me reading for all the characters. I hope you're ready for Amy Rose to sound like this the whole time. And then I don't know, I'd probably just be like, "Oh, it's me, Tails. I'm a nerd." Oh. Because if I actually try to emulate their voices legit, I would not do a good job. But that's the fun part. I could make up voices for the characters who don't have them, and you know. For Whisper, I could literally just whisper, you know. That would be the joke. Even though she pretty much does just whisper everything. Especially when she introduces herself for the first time. Sonic and Silver show up. And they find her. And they're trying to gain her trust because, you know, she's not too familiar with them. And she's not very trusting for understandable reasons. And so Sonic eventually, like, gets her to trust them. And he's like, hey, what's your name? She's like, Whisper. And then Silver's like, okay, but why? He's like, no, that's her name. Dumbass. Oh, boy. Wait, it's not that long? What's not that long? What, the IDW comics? No, they're long. They're just, it's relative compared to the, the Archie comics, which are probably thousands of issues, right? But the IDW comics, are they at like the, what are they at? I want to say it's like less than 200, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I could get through them like over the course of a few days, honestly, because I want to reread them just to remember all that happened and shit. But you know, too much Sonic stuff. You know, everyone that doesn't already like Sonic is probably gone by now. We gotta get some more variety of content. Maybe I'll read them tomorrow. You should prepare for our races that I'll definitely be ready for. Should I think I asked this, but I don't think I got a response. Should I just not play it until stream tomorrow? Should I just go in blind? I don't know. Sonic and Nico one-shot is my entire life. That's fair. Some people, they just have the stuff they're into, and that's really all they care about, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? I just have a lot of things that I'm into. Sonic is just one of them. One of my favorites now. Probably wouldn't have been my favorites, like, before Frontiers and before IDW, but... And also Shadow Generations. That's a fucking great one. But, you know, that... I'm trying to think of my favorite media franchises, and I think it's Sonic, Pokemon, more so for, like, the Pokemon themselves than the actual, like, stories and shit. Although they have been getting better, kind of. Obviously, Persona. I think I don't even have to. I haven't talked about Persona in a long time though, so you gotta give me credit for that, all right? I think the last time I probably talked about it at length was when we were playing the answer, or sorry, episode I guess is what they call it, right? Call to be honest, you have to play a single Grand Prix game to. Oh, you do have to play a Grand Prix game to unlock it. Okay. I don't know. Maybe by tomorrow I'll be sick of driving. Oh wow, you like Persona? I know, right? You guys ever have something that like it's a series that you like, but you wouldn't consider it your favorite? So like, if someone was like, "Oh, I got you a present from this," you're like, "Oh, that's cool." They're like, "I knew you would love it. It's like one of your favorite things." It's like, well, I like it, so I'm cool with like if they got you like a T-shirt of it, you know. Like we did Uncharted a few weeks ago, right? And I liked Uncharted, but it's like I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite things. But if someone got me like a, I don't know, a mug with Nathan Drake's face on it, I would be like, oh, cool. You know, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, dude, this is like one of my favorite things. I'd be like, oh, Uncharted's pretty cool, you know. That's how I feel about some things like Shantae as well. Remember when we did like several months of Shantae? I was playing all the games. Which now I got another one to play. I don't think it's out yet though. Is the one that they were going to make a long time ago, and now that they're actually making it. Risky's Revolution, I think it is. I don't think it's out yet. You missed most of Shantae, sadly. Well, that's why I VOD everything. I know a lot of people prefer to watch live and don't really care for VODs in that sense, but it's there. It's always there if you want to see it, you know. Problem is when you mention it once and they think it's the only thing you like, then you get items on that day for every single holiday for years. Yes! Oh my god. You totally get it. It's totally that. I I think it happened with like actually pretty recently with God, it's gonna be embarrassing because I don't want it's like it happened with like my mom, but she's like in the other room. I don't know if she's like right there. Um, oh, actually, hold on. Hey, mom, real mom. Okay, she's not in here. Okay, all right, I tested it. Okay, I mentioned to her like what was it, a couple months ago must have been that like I enjoy SpongeBob, but like even nowadays I think SpongeBob is funny. At least the old stuff, I think, is pretty good. But for a while, like she got me a ton of like SpongeBob related stuff, and was like, you know, even my little sister was getting on the bandwagon. It's like, you love SpongeBob. I'm like, okay, I like it, but like, it's not like my main thing, you know. Like, it's not one of my favorites. You get Sonic presents a lot? I don't actually. I don't really get a lot of Sonic gifts. I don't really like getting gifts in general. I'm not really a big gift giving guy. I don't. I think. I think the concept of gift giving should be more of a. I don't know what the word is. What's the opposite of an obligation? More of a voluntary thing than an obligation, I guess. You know, because like I don't want someone to give me stuff just because the calendar dictates it. You know, I don't want someone to just give me stuff because it's Christmas, or give me stuff because I happen to be born on that day years ago. But like if someone, like if I see something and I'm like, oh, my mom would like that, then I'll just, you know, why not just get it and give it to her? You know, I don't have to feel pressured to give someone or get stuff. It's like, if you want to get me a gift, then just give me a gift. You know, I don't really like receiving gifts in general, but like if you're gonna do it, then You know, do it because you mean it. Don't do it because you think you have to. You know what I mean? I've always thought that about gift giving. You know? I mean, it's more understandable for, like, kids. You know, kids to get gifts on, like, Christmas and their birthday and stuff, because, you know, you're growing up. You wanna get new stuff. Gifts could be for all year round. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm also the, I'm also kind of the Scrooge when it comes to any holiday. Because, especially ones that are, like, meant to celebrate certain, like, certain people. Because I'm like, you shouldn't just make a day for that person. You should be able to appreciate them all year. You know? Like, I get it. I'm being a freaking negative Nancy about it. You know? And it's like, dude, we have this holiday to like, you know, give them appreciation specifically. You know? Like, I always said that about, like, Pride Month. You know? Like, I support Pride Month and everything that comes with it, but it's just the idea that it ends that I just, you know, especially that's because that's when companies stop doing stuff for Pride Month, is when the month is over, and I'm like, just do stuff whenever. Like, why don't you just give appreciation for that community, like, when you feel like you should? Which, I mean, ideally would be all the time. It's like, why don't you just have Pride stuff all year round? I mean, I know why, because of money. They want to make money, and when you put things at limited time, like, that's when they make the most money. But I'm like, dude, we should celebrate everyone throughout the whole year. You know? Especially when they're going through, like, hard, discriminatory times. Pride Millennium. Yeah, exactly. I mean, on the bright side, we're getting more towards that idea, right? Like, I would say nowadays, even with all the shit going on, people are probably more tolerant than they've ever been in the history of the world. It's not to say that we're good. It's not to say that we could stop trying to push that. Not to say that it doesn't still exist, because it absolutely does, but throughout all of history, we're, like, more tolerant than ever, and I think that's a big step. And I think that's great. And I think that we could obviously be doing more. Like, appreciating people all year. You know? I like to think I'm saying all this to Shadow, who's in the back, and he's just looking out. He's like, I agree. I think we should celebrate the Latina culture all year, instead of just once in a while. Yeah, there you go. He's an ally, yeah. He's like, you know, that's why we like our boy Trevor from GTA. He's a crazy person. He's a psychopath. He murders just indiscriminately. He eats human remains. But you know what? He's tolerant. He thinks people should be who they are. I do hope in Sonic Crossroads comic Steve Minecraft appears to be a main character. See, I don't know if they'll address that. I think it'd be really funny if they did. Also, it would be fucking dope, because that means Joker would be canon in the Sonic universe. And I'd probably shit my pants if that happened. Unless they're hipsters. Oh, yeah. That's where Trevor draws the line. No hipsters. It's okay. I don't think any. Do you think he'd like the Sonic characters? I don't know if any Sonic characters are hipsters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they are. Can we just say that, like, Charmy is a hipster? Just let him kill Charmy? That'd be nice. And he could eat them. Probably more tasty than a human. Actually, I don't know. Honestly, I guess I can't say for sure, because I've never tasted a bee and I've never tasted a human. So, who knows? Like everyone would hate him, beat him up, throw him in jail. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's what I said we should do. All right, Sonic character tier list. Let's go. Charmy F tier. There you go. Oh, add in about a minute. By the way. Oh, I almost hit the. All right, hold on. Sorry, my lips were chapped, so I had to stop the bus. All right, I had to let go of the accelerator. Okay. I got solidly confused for a second. Confused as to why Steve Minecraft was gonna eat someone. No, no, not him. Trevor. I mean, I'm sure Steve would just taste like a human, right? Because, I mean, he's supposed to be a human, just in the style of Minecraft. I don't think Steve belongs in the Sonic character tier list. I mean, stop sign! Not stop sign, bus sign! Yeah! Woo! Alright. Cool. Gotta love it. Gotta love the bus sign, dude. It's like the peak of entertainment. Does it? I feel like it happens every hour and a half. I think that's when we get the bus sign. And when Steve can eat someone. If you kill zombies, eat their rotten flesh. That's true. Maybe Trevor would aspire to be with Steve. Okay, well, if Steve technically is part of the Sonic universe because of racing cross worlds, I guess Steve, honestly, probably, I still haven't forgiven Steve for being annoying and super unorthodox in Smash Brothers. So I guess Steve is probably gonna have to be in, like, I don't know, Steve and Alex might have to be in E tier. You know, they're not F with Charmy, but, you know. Shadow added one more thing to his I Spy. Well, if Shadow I Spied and then missed it, then he'd have to wait a while for the next one. I don't know. Oh, Creeper's in it too, right? I guess I'd have to rate Creeper. Creeper could be, let's give Creeper a C tier. I don't really have a reason for that. I just think, you know, he's not like the Avatar. He's like he's actually is something. So, I mean, yeah, I've been killed by many a creeper in my day, but who hasn't, you know? That's just his thing. Exactly, Rose. Who's next on the Sonic tier list thing I got going? Well, if Joker's technically in the game, I think he's like there's a double S tier. You know how there's an A tier and then an S tier, and then sometimes there's a double S. But yeah, he's in double S tier, and he's the only one that's gonna be in there. So yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. Sorry, it's true. I mean, Shadow is a tough one. I think I'd put him in A. Like, I like Shadow, don't get me wrong. He's like, I like his story. I think he's entertaining. But for so long, he was just a big joke. He was just the emo one, and that's why he was entertaining, because he was so funny over the top. Shadow Generations actually made me care about his story. And yeah, I still find him entertaining in that way. So it's hard to properly judge Shadow, but I feel like I'd get lynched if I didn't at least give him A tier. So I'll give him A tier, you know. I mean, Sonic himself, I don't know, maybe also A tier because he's gotten a lot better. You know, I started enjoying him a lot more. Who else? Love how Shadow acts cocky and competitive against everyone constantly. Like, I'm here to kick your ass, not to have fun, even to Cream. Well, someone pointed out, like, in his, like, interaction with Cream, is that, like, it's, like, the nicest he could possibly be. Which is, which is not super nice, but it's, like, they're like, that's the closest to a nice encouragement that Shadow could possibly do to Cream, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know, she's a child. So, do you want me to put Cream on the list? Cream's good. I think I'd put Cream in A tier as well. Yeah, he does like well done Cream when she hits. Yeah, exactly. I think Cream belongs in A tier as well. Ever since she started being voiced by Michelle Ruff, I think she's got a very charming voice now. And because you think like little kids, like a little girl would be annoying, but she's actually her like key characteristic is that she's polite. Like she's very polite. She's not like Charmy, who's super annoying and in your face. Like her whole thing is that she respects everyone. She calls everyone by Mr. and Mrs., right? Because that's how she was raised by Vanilla, is to be very respectful. Even to people that she doesn't like, she refers to them as Mr. and Mrs. You know? So it's like, it's a kid character that finally doesn't make me want to rip my ears out. You know what I mean? So I think that's why Cream is acceptable. I just wish she was in more shit, because she's just not really. So I don't know. Maybe B tier, just because she doesn't have as much going on as like Sonic and Shadow. But possibly A. I would understand if you want me to throw her in A. But I guess B for now. But if she had more going on, definitely A for sure. Who else? Who's next? Who do you want me to throw on there? I mean, we have many options. Honestly, at this point, it doesn't even have to be Sonic characters. Give me anything. 2 questions. Yes, Ostrich. Welcome, Ostrich. How you doing? What's going on? What the fuck is Desert Bus? You drive a bus in a desert. I don't know what else you want from me. That's literally what it is. Drive a bus in the desert. What's your other question? What led to that driver name? That's the name I use for everything. I forget that not everyone knows that. Like, but pretty much most things, when I get to put in my own name, I put that in, and I put in V-Daddy. So, yeah. No, I named that for everything, but yes. There's a dialogue between Sage and Silver where he says she takes over the world in his future. I'm not sure if that's exactly what he says, but I remember something like that. Have you really just been driving the desert for 3 hours? Maybe. No. Okay, maybe a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean absolutely that's what I've been doing for 3 hours. I'll be lurking while I fall asleep to Sonic tier list. Have a great rest. She keeps slaying your drive. Thank you, Rose. Have a nice rest. Get some sleep for me. You can use some of my sleep that I won't be having. But how are you, Ostrich? Is there anything else about this game? Once in a while, there is a bus sign. There's just a sign that says bus on it. We've found that it happens like pretty much every hour and a half. And also I can open the doors. Like that. It's just a sound effect, but it sounds like I'm opening the doors. So. This is it, Ostrich. You drive a bus from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada. Can you drive off the road? No. If I start driving to the desert, the bus gets stuck in the sand, and then I have to get towed back in real time. So since I've made it about 3 hours in, if I get stuck in the sand, I'd have to be towed for another 3 hours. So no, I have to drive on the road. And my goal is to get 1 point. And you get a point if you make it to your destination. And then you can drive. Thank you, Rad. And then you can get another point if you drive all the way back, and so on and so forth. And you have to go from Tucson to Las Vegas at 45 miles an hour, which is approximately 8 hours. So I want to get my point.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
Yeah, damn right. You're all gonna get some juicy milk. After I'm done, I'm gonna be ready with all that milk, dude. What are we talking about? Anyway. You can exchange your points for a new bus. You keep overestimating this game. You guys keep thinking there has to be more. There has to be more than this. You get to Las Vegas, you get to play lottery games. You get to Las Vegas, you get your point, you can get a new bus. You can eventually, there's other cars on the street. You don't understand. No, none of that. This is it. This is the game. All right. Are you gonna stream this entire 8-hour virtual bus ride? Do you see me getting my 1 point yet? If the answer is no, then yes, I'm going to keep streaming. I'm streaming until I get my goddamn point. All right. And yeah, thank you for the hydrate. Okay. Right. Easy there, buddy. Don't worry, I'm not getting cranky yet. I'm sure we'll get to a point where I am. Alright. No, I'm not cranky yet. No, not yet. I'm just saying. I think this is much worse than the 14 hours infinite mode in Dead Rising. You think this is worse? I don't think so. The reason why is because, like, with that, like, you actually have to actively pay attention to what you're doing for 14 hours, you know? Here, you can just shut your mind off and do something else. Like, I'm talking to you guys, right? Which one is the blue spiky guy in Sonic? It's a good question. I think it's the guy, they call him like Shadow or something. I don't know. I get them confused. They look like exactly alike. Might also be that silver guy. He looks exactly like Shadow as well, so you know. Donkey Kong. Oh, it might be Donkey Kong, yeah. Wait, no, Donkey Kong's brown. They said blue, dumbass. Obviously, it's like Shadow or something. Oh, it might be Lanky Kong. He wears blue. He can inflate himself just like a balloon, as the song says. Not really, I mostly just sat around, pile of food on the floor, eat all of them. When I ran out, I go explore, look for bosses to kill for more food over and over. It's mostly waiting and make sure you're well fed. See, with this, you can just drive. I heard about Donkey Kong. That's the red Italian guy. Yeah. Yeah. No, he's the monkey. The red Italian guy is Sonic. Fucking idiot. God. I thought you'd fucking know that by now. Every gamer knows who fucking Sonic is. It's me, Sonic. Well. God, I really need a new fucking desk chair. I've had the same one for, like, freaking so long. It's the same one that I've been using since I started streaming. And it has had the same problem. It just occasionally just drops down a little bit. And I have to friggin' stand up a little bit and to like pull it up. I am a gamer, not because I have a life, because I choose to have many. The edgy. I thought that was like the coolest meme when I was a teenager. But yeah. I don't know. I do find it Facebook vibes indeed. I have always found it to be a detriment that like my only interest or hobby is just like video games. Because everyone has like something else that they're into. You know? Like I also like movies. I'm a big movie guy too. But I feel like those come hand in hand, you know? It's a very similar form of media. One's just... I actually don't really like comic books. I was just in... Literally, the Sonic ones are the only ones I'm interested in. The other ones I don't really care about. It's just because... I think it's just because the Sonic ones are tied into the canon of the games, and that's why they interest me. I'm sure there are some out there that I would like. I just... It's not a big hobby of mine. You know what I mean? So other than that, I read some manga in high school. Not a lot, but I read a little bit. It was entertaining for what it was. But, you know, that was why I was trying to get into anime for a while. And it kind of succeeded. I found some anime I actually enjoy. But still, it's like, I feel like there are other hobbies and stuff out there that I could probably be into. I'm just not. I've been trying to like learn an instrument and stuff like that, but I keep fucking just neglecting it, and then I just end up going back to like video games and movies. 'Cause that's really what I care about. Because I feel like everyone asks beyond that. Like whenever you tell someone, "Oh, I really like video games," they're like, "Oh, okay, well, you know, most people nowadays probably are into some kind of games. What else do you like?" I'm like, I like movies. And they're like, well, you know, everyone watches movies. It's like, well, what else? I'm like, well, that's it. That's all I got. I don't, I don't play an instrument. I don't go out and do stuff, you know. I don't have any other passions. That's it. That's all I got, guys. I'm sorry. It's like, I like long walks on the beach. Yeah, I like long drives in the desert. Could I tell them that? I used to be a bus driver. One of the toughest drives was I had to go from Tucson to Las Vegas. It was a long one. It was a bus actually, all the way in the desert. A desert bus, if you will. So, you know, I could say that. I played an instrument in high school. It was more like oh, thank you for the hydrate. I am in the desert, so. Yeah, I played an instrument in high school, but it was kind of like the... And I'll say, like, oh, I was freaking... Oh, my God. Fucking Duolingo.
I am the milkman.
Oh, jeez.
My milk is delicious.
Scared me. I got a notification on my phone that said "miss you," and it was just the Duolingo bird, because I freaking haven't done my Japanese lessons in a while. But yeah, I played an instrument in high school. I didn't really play a lot. I went to lessons, but I didn't really do too much with it. I played bass, and I was like the typical like, oh, I was in a band in high school, but like as a band you mean like you get together with your friends to play an instrument for like an hour like once a month, and like that's it. That was pretty much what it was. It was like I was a bassist, pretty much mainly because no one else in the group was a bassist, and I was like, oh, I could, you know, I'd be interested in playing bass. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed bass. I don't know if I'd go back to playing it, but I wouldn't remember anything, that's for sure. I'm not really, my fingers aren't nearly as articulate. And I have shaky hands, so I don't think it would work that much anymore. I'm trying to learn, I haven't done it anytime recently, but I was trying to learn keyboard slash piano kind of thing. I actually wanted to learn how to play guitar. So I learned a little bit for a while, but I haven't done it in a long time. That's most of the things I've tried to get into. I tried to start learning how to speak Japanese, and then I got out of it and forgot everything. I tried to learn how to play piano, then I haven't done it in a while and forgot everything. And I was trying to exercise for a bit, but then I kind of got bored and fell out of it. It's like it's like, oh, and then I played video games all day, and yeah, there you go. That's what I want to do. The epitome of what boomers hate. You know, I'm like against all the boomers. You know what I'm saying? You got Chick-fil-A, nice. You've got some decent chicken. My family would get Chick-fil-A a lot, especially when I lived in like Texas. We got Chick-fil-A a decent amount, but like all we would get is just like the standard chicken sandwich. I don't even know what else they had to buy. I just, every time my family went to get Chick-fil-A, they would just bring back the default chicken sandwich. And you know what? I didn't argue because it was really good. But, I don't know. I don't order from Chick-fil-A too often these days. Mostly because it's not really around where I am. Now that I live in New England. There actually was one that opened a couple years ago. Some kind of nearby. Now it's got to be like half hour away or something like that. But, I don't know. I don't really support them as much as I